what's your base of mixed martial art? Did you start with a traditional martial art like karate, taekwondo, judo, or you just went straight into MMA after that girl slapped you at 16-year-old?
Straight away to like bare knuckle fights and understanding what to do.
No, I started in jiu-jitsu, like BJJ.
Ooh.
Have you done it? He
Yes.
does it.
We
both are
actually we're doing it, and we just started. It's not true that we just started. I started.
For me, it's like 2.5 months, I think. But I was sick in the beginning, but now I'm doing it properly for like a month.
I started many years ago. Actually, I started in a gym in Iceland, which is the gym of Gunnar Nelson, which is a UFC top 10, top 15 fighter in welterweight.
Watch out for the time.
Yeah, just 2 minutes more.
Yeah.
And but I started doing 3 months yes, 7 months no, 4 months yes, 9 months no.
Because you're traveling?
Yeah, and so I haven't done it in a lot, and I always done without the gi, so this is the first time I do it with the gi, and it's very different. But and Renars, on the other hand, he'd never done jiu-jitsu before, but he has done judo.
Yeah, I got brown belt in judo, yeah.
Yes, so now, basically, we're both white belts. We just started, and we have this competition.
Rivalry.
We have this bet going on, who's going to get the blue belt first.
Yeah, so every time if I'm not in the gym and he's at the gym and he takes a photo and he's like, I got the blue belt first.
And vice versa. So what belt are you?
I'm still a blue belt.
Okay.
I had to stop for a while because I did some surgeries for my knee and for my arm.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. One of it, which was actually from a competition, like a jiu-jitsu
They broke your arm?
grappling competition. Yeah.
But that's very interesting. We're going to come back after a small break.
Boom.
Boom. Why did...
1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, and we're back. So you were telling us that you got your arm broken during a BJJ competition?
Yeah, I did a grappling submission-only competition. So if you're familiar with the Eddie Bravo rules,
invitational.
Yeah. So
AB rules.
Yeah, if there's no submission within the stipulated time, you will go into like overtime with kind of like sudden death, right? So whoever finishes first, either through...
I always finish first. Just saying.
Chris.
In BJJ, I mean.
we have imaginary curtain here. If you talk shit, I just try to like close it. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm in timeout.
And then, so during my turn to submit her, she will start in a spider guard position.
Right.
I finished her with an armbar. But then when it was my turn to pull out...
Chris is dying inside. Chris is dying inside. He's like in Friends, Chandler, who wasn't allowed to make jokes about, like, they said, like, we're going to bet you, like, you can't do the jokes for a certain period of time. Like, now you're dying.
Look at him, he's alright. Anyway, my arm ended up, the force was applied towards my forearm, so it broke here instead. So I didn't know I broke my arm, so I continued to...
So basically...
I'm very curious about this. Like, I mean, I just start doing it, but anytime I can feel that sometimes when they go too fast, you like kind of like didn't hear you. But that is their fault, like, because
but it's competition.
Enough. Yeah, your adrenaline is high.
Adrenaline.
No,
yeah.
but that's also with tapping. Like, in training, you tap much earlier. In competition, you try to power through. But what I like about our guest today is that basically she came here. She's gritty, because that's on her Instagram, so she must be gritty. And she said, you know what? I'm a martial artist because when I was 16, a bitch slapped me. And then I started training. And what happened is that another bitch broke my arm. That's a very powerful story.
Oh, but she broke another bitch's arm. You see?
I did.
That's the sportsmanship. That's the sportsmanship right there. You break my arm.
No, but usually the stories is I've been slapped when I was 16 and I became a world champion. And the story she's telling us, I was slapped when I was 16, but when I was 22, they broke my arm. Fuck.
But I did compete at the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships as a white belt. I got 3rd place.
In the Jiu-Jitsu World Championship?
Yeah.
When was it?
How many participants?
2016. In my weight category, it was like rooster weight, so like 48 kilos. It was 8 of us.
Then you get 3rd.
How did you get in the World Championship?
Just travel there and like compete.
Oh, yeah, I was passing by. They said, oh, you're World Champion. Can I participate?
But still, when someone says that they're 3rd out of 8, I'm like,
Yeah.
No, and also, is it really a world championship if there's only 8 people?
Only because I used to do karate, and I remember like we had this, and now we're gonna have a European champion. There's like 3 countries. Like, fuck off. That's not European championship because it's not represented countries in the levels.
The thing is, I mean, for jiu-jitsu,
I'm not shitting. I'm just saying when someone says I'm 3rd out of 8, that's.
For jiu-jitsu competitions, I mean, there are a lot of them in the US, right? But in Asia, there's not as much.
So it's just not that popular.
I mean, it's pretty popular in Japan as well as in Hong Kong. I think they have in China now.
No, but also in Singapore, because in Singapore there is ONE FC, which is one of the biggest MMA organization in the world. Because in the US there is the UFC. And ONE FC is almost as big.
Is it like ONE FC?
One championship,
And like, for example, Demetrius Johnson, which is one of the best who ever done it. He actually has the record of consecutive UFC title defense in the history. He has 11 title defense. Now he fights for ONE FC. And in Bali MMA, a couple of ONE FC champions came out of Bali MMA, right? They also have the belt inside the gym.
Yeah.